Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Bokman's vlog. Today I wanted to talk about making six-digit checks, wholesaling real estate deals. I'm going to break down some of the deals that I've done in the past and also talk about a current one that we're doing today where we're making just on the wholesale side about $87,500. That's not including the additional profit that we're going to make on this property flipping it. But basically, really what I want to talk about is if you're wholesaling or trying to wholesale, if you're not collecting six-digit checks at some point throughout your year, you're kind of really still in a job. And what I mean by that is that you're still living deal to deal or paycheck to paycheck. And the goal for me is not to have a job, but to have a company that pays me so I don't have to be in there all day, all the time, grinding and hustling and wondering, what deals are we going to close this month, even though sometimes that's how it is. But having these larger deals 2, 3, 4 times a year really infuses a large chunk of cash flow that allows you to, potentially to invest in other areas, but it really gives you the financial freedom that you need. Some of the deals that kind of put me on the map last year, I sold a few $1 million in large commercial deals. And obviously those generated some great checks for me. And how did I get those deals? Well, I bet you that some of the people that are listening to this right now or watching this, I guarantee you that, let me just back up one question. How many of you guys rent an apartment or a place to live or have in the past? I guarantee you that a lot of you have rented an apartment, which means that at some point or in time, you've probably had some contact with your landlord. And if you don't know this already, landlords are probably one of the best sources for off-market deals because majority of these people have multiple properties. And so going back to some of the examples from last year that I'll go over real quickly, and then I'll get to how we made the current deal today. Last year I have a good friend of mine. He's a landlord. He's also a developer. So at any given time, he could be unloading property. And so last year, I was able to unload basically 2 city blocks for him in Philadelphia. So if you know anything about the Philadelphia market, you'll know that buying up an entire block is very, very expensive. And so on each of those deals, which a free lead, right, because it's landlord that I know, have built a great relationship with him over the years. He trusts me. But just based on those 2 deals that I had, we cleared well over 6 digits. So if you are not reaching out to your landlords or people that you know that are landlords, I totally suggest you get on that ASAP. So we're going to talk about our current deal, which we just made or will be making about $87,000. That's just on the wholesale side. And then we're actually going to be keeping that property and then renovating it and reselling it back on the market and probably making an additional 6 figures on that property. So this was a lead that came in. We jumped on the lead right away. It was on a great neighborhood in an amazing street. My acquisition manager was actually away on vacation, so we weren't actually able to see the property for about 4 or 5 days. But the seller really never contacted anybody else. We were really the only ones in the mix. And so when my acquisition manager got there, we realized that the entire property was a shell. There was a water pipe that burst, destroyed multiple levels of the home. The insurance company came in and basically just gutted the whole place out, and they didn't do anything else. And so the property belonged to the sellers. It's been in their family for generations and generations, and they just wanted it gone and done with. So obviously we made them an offer. We locked it up within about 5-10 minutes that same day. And then we started to evaluate the property. And in the beginning, I wasn't really sure what we were going to make on this property. I was figuring we could probably sell it pretty quickly and make about 40-50 grand. But then once I really sat down and evaluated the property, I realized that we had something special here, and that I could have just literally wholesaled it for anywhere from $100,000 to $150,000 profit. But instead, if you've been following my videos, you know that I've recently had a child, so I'm trying to max out profit for most of these deals. And so for this deal, we're actually selling it to ourselves. So we locked up the property at, let's just say, $100K. We're selling the property to ourselves for about $200K. So there's that $100K profit, which we'll be taking right away. And then we're going to be remodeling the home. The home is going to take about $175,000 to remodel. So at the end of the day, we should be into the home for about $375,000, not including your holding costs and some hard money costs. And then when we go to sell the property, we should be able to hopefully sell it for somewhere between $575,000 and $600,000. So there could be an additional $125,000 to $180,000 profit after we sell that property. So hopefully you got all of that. Not too many wholesalers are doing that, selling properties for them to themselves or other LLCs and then renovating those properties, or at least the smarter ones are. But those are some of the ways that you can wholesale and generate 6-digit checks for yourself. Now remember, profits are made when you buy the property, not when you sell the property. So it's all about being able to negotiate the price as low as humanly possible that everybody feels good about it. We never try to lowball people. We always try to give people an offer that's going to work for all sides. And that's generally how good business practice is done. So there's lots of ways to generate 6-digit checks. This is just one or two examples. Just to recap, go talk to your landlords if you have them, your past landlords. I guarantee you will get leads out of that. And then as far as being able to generate 6-digit checks, it's all about the numbers. It's negotiating, and it can happen. We're doing anywhere from a minimum of 2 or 3 to 5 deals like this per year, sometimes more. And generating these 6-digit checks. So they are real. It does happen. It's life-changing. So remember, if you're not evolving, you're dying.